Hi everyone, I'm here again. Let's go to two channel, shall we? Two chat. Yeah, that's a bit better. I've got a beer. Um, I'll hang on a second. See if we get a few more people coming on. And yeah, I've done this at 8 o'clock tonight because well, because it kind of rattles on into the evening. It's nice to spend a little bit of time with your wife. You know what I mean? It's and So, yeah, there's a few watching. I assume can someone? I assume you can all hear me. Okay, can you just let me know? Just stick it in the thing. Just make sure you can hear me. Just put a message in the chat. Say yeah, we can hear you. As I said, it's all about questions tonight. So I hope you got some. Not a huge amount to talk about. Well, there's a little bit to talk about. But well, no one's putting in. I'm going to assume you can hear me. I'm showing quite good here on the. Yeah, good. Okay, right. So, what am I going to talk about tonight? Well, not an awful lot, but I'll tell you one thing. It's the first month of actually working for myself again, running an Amiga business since the 90s. So, quite a big deal. Still here. In fact, apart from when the Kickstarters went, this has been my best ever month. So it just shows if you put a bit of effort in and you actually commit or be committed. If you commit time, you can do a lot. Now, as you probably know, I've got a ton of PR on its way. The Chris thing was obviously good, but the Chris was about $4,000 compared to what I turned over, which I'm not getting you figures, but it was even if you took that out, it was still a good month. So actually, fairly positive. But of course, very little from Europe. There is people coming in from Europe, but I'm doing some bits and pieces on there. Amiga Future are going to run a story for me. They're going to run my story that you probably read, and we're going to try and build up the Don't Forget Us campaign. People do understand, which is good news. People get it. It's had there been common sense in my country, wouldn't have happened. But I'm coming to that in a second, Darius. No monitors, no, not at all. Monitors have done nothing. Right? Okay. So first month, it's been very good. It's been good. If you take out, as I said, I did a chunk on those Amigas. If you take them out, it's been a good month. So they were really good benefit. But the monitor stands are a bit disappointing. I kind of thought that there'd be more demand. To be fair, they're arriving on Thursday. Barry's bringing them over from Henderson's on Thursday morning. So over the weekend, I'll be packing them all up and shipping them out the door. So if you've ordered, then you'll be getting them sometime next week, hopefully. Unless you're in like Australia or America or something, then the week after. But yeah, they're actually not particularly. I've ordered to get the price to something I thought was affordable, because my benchmark was one of the computer museums is doing a stand for the BBC, which is 40 quid. So I thought, well, if I can get it in that price range with VAT, because my price is £35 plus VAT, so to get it to that ballpark figure, I thought that was fair. But to make that, I had to make 250. Now I've sold about 90 to 100. I'm not sure what, but it's not. I was hoping to sell a lot more than that, and then have to reorder. But what it means is, because I don't make a lot of money out of them, either I may stop selling them at the end of this, or put the price up to £50, because they are expensive. Because metalwork's very expensive at the moment. Even my cases, all the prices are creeping up. So and I've kept the prices the same. The minis aren't so bad. There's a little bit more margin, but the pluses, people will say, they're a bit expensive. Well, they're very expensive to make. So hopefully not going to increase it. But the garages, well, the idea of the garages was always, you know, I rushed them basically. Well, I didn't rush them, but I brought them forward a lot faster because the reality was that someone else was going to make some who'd been sitting on it for ages, and we talked about it. I went, well, hang on, and I wanted to do mine because my design so that that pleased me, hopefully please everyone else. But somewhere for people to, so if you buy one of my monitors, you can instantly have a stand you can put it on your Amiga to make it look cool. That was it. It was that was why I wanted to do them. So they're designed really for Amiga and Atari owners. It works on others, but it really designed for Amiga and Atari. I put a lot of effort into obviously the Amiga side. Well, look at the design. I mean, it's been designed for Amigas. But it also works well with Atari STs. So those two are my target markets. But yeah, the numbers are not particularly huge. Yeah, I get that. I'm not worried about it. It's it's just something I thought would be sold a lot quicker because they're not expensive. Well, the shipping's stupid. If you get outside of the UK, it costs up to Australia. Don't even get going on Australia, but they're quite expensive because they're big and bulky. And they're not overly heavy, but they're like 2.5, 3 kilos. But you start. It's the size because shipping is based on volumetric weight, and the volumetric weight is higher than the actual weight. So it's better to order 2 because you get 2 in a box, and then the weight is the same as the volumetric weight. If that makes any sense. And as you know, I've redesigned my shipping pricing calculator, so that should help. I think having them in stock probably is going to help. Once people actually start getting them and seeing them, and they show their mates, that'd be good. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, because as I said, I don't make much money. I mean, it is a low value item, but still, you have to invest in stock, so you have to be careful. Keep monitor stands. I'm interested, but a little tight on budget these days. I might order a few in a second. Look, don't buy anything if you can't afford it. Right? I always say this to people. I am now more of a salesman than I was a month ago, right? Because now it's my living, got to pay the mortgage, so I'm a bit more selly. If you can't afford it, don't buy it, right? No, plenty of time. I'm not going anywhere. So, well, I'm not planning to go anywhere. But yeah, so I thought they might have flown off the shelves, but that's fine. It just means that the next batch, maybe if I do another batch, which I probably will, if I do another batch, then there'll be a bit more, another tenner, I'm guessing, because I'll be making smaller numbers just to keep them going. I still think they're probably worth it, to be fair. When you get them, you'll see. They're nice. If you get the black one, just keep your fingers off it. Bloody magnets. Yeah, so the stands, I think they look great, especially if you look at the sides, the way they kind of go around, wrap around the side. I've designed it so it covers enough of the computer, but still leaves the floppy disk accessible. I remember the story. It was a little bit too much, and it was fine with my mind. But as soon as you put a big CRT on it, donk. So I had to correct that. But make sure if you've got a massive heavy, because the CRTs tend to be very heavy at the front. And I did put one on there, but when I actually stuck my 1084 on it, anyway, donk. It was fine if you push it back, but these new ones, they've got a lot more metal at the front, so the overhang's not as much, and I made them deeper, so they're fine. And as for strength, well, I've stood on them, so they're perfectly strong. But yeah, I think they're going to be really nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not using them. I know it sounds how I make them, and I'm not actually using them because I'm a big box guy. So you'll see me bring them out when I'm doing stuff in videos. But otherwise, at the moment I've got 1000 out. You can see my 128 down there. It's got pride place underneath, in case Happy thinks I'm. But I've got to do a video on the 1000. You'll probably notice my little AROS laptop sitting there as well. going to do some more AROS. I'm rebuilding my AROS checkmate in a checkmate case at the office. I'm going to do a video on that. So I've got a video on the 1000 coming. I've got a video on the AROS machine again, or AROS in general, including the little Acer Spire. So there's quite a bit going to be coming. I could do with some questions because otherwise this will be quite a short half-hour one. But if there's questions, I'll answer while the questions are being asked. What else is there I can talk about? So I've done the fact it's the first 30 days out of the way, paid the mortgage, all good. And I've done that. The stands are coming on Thursday, so they'll be here. Should ship them out on. I don't know. Actually, I'm with my son over the weekend, going to a football match and seeing him in his new house. So probably going to build them beginning it, probably Monday or Tuesday. But they'll be next week. They'll start going out next week. Once I start shipping them, I'll tell them because I've still got them marked as not available. So we will see. We will see about that. But yeah, that's that. What else is there? Happy. Well, with the garages are also being delivered new chassis for the monitor to take Appy's boards, which is kind of a big deal. They've been sprayed, so they're going to go straight and exist. That's why I'm calling it a V2.5 prototype, because I'm not changing the shell because that's really expensive. So I'm going to keep the shell as it is, but just it's a new chassis because it's pretty much the same because the boards just fit neatly. So I'm going to put that in there and start doing some testing, and probably the next time you see me a show or anything like that, probably going to have the new version, Appy's version, that it's nowhere near production ready, but it's prototyping, testing, that kind of thing, because as you probably know, it's a stupidly complex board. Let me just grab an image. What I'll do is I'll just so you can see Appy's. I don't know if you've seen the pictures. Here we go. No, that's no good, is it? Here you go. So basically, that's Appy's board. Is that the good? Yeah, that's. So at the bottom down here, that's the controller. It's going to be hidden. Okay, at the moment, this is the way it's looking at the moment. We're actually hiding it because the breakout board is a 2-level board, and so it's going to use that. So, but bear with us. This is for experimentation still. But you can see it's a double-decker board. We're hoping an HDMI switcher. And also USB hub, a mini, so you can put 2 in. Don't get excited about it, it's nothing fancy. But we're going to have that, and the board above is the GBS complete subsystem. So you can see the GBS board here at the top, and underneath is, you can see there's a 9-pin, which is Appy's EGA, CGA stuff. You got your SCART RGB. Back there you can see the control. Might be easy with the other picture, yeah. Back here you can see there's the control GBS, which is the custom firmware. So that's pretty cool. That basically makes it what it is. But yeah, let's just make sure there's nothing. Yeah. So yeah, there's not an awful lot to talk about. So you don't need to ask me questions, or I'm going to be probably disappearing fairly quick. Well, I think it's something to say, because until I get the board from Appy, as you can see, it's there. It's still testing. We've got a couple of issues with the HDMI. The Appy's trying to sort out. But it's as I said, it's prototype. The ports at the bottom are auto switching, so it's going to be a seriously good monitor. Actually, it's not just. Panel's nice, even the standard panel, right? I still like the standard panel. I've got to be honest, I love that panel. Okay, the 17 and the 19 inch. So it's one of those things. Look, I'm going to upset every single fan of CRTs. I would never swap that for a CRT, not in a million years. But you'd have to see it. Okay. Now I get CRTs, I get the thing people like, but it's a very small functionality. It's that whole low resolution, non-interlace, 240p kind of thing, and that does look beautiful. They do look fantastic. Anything else? Not interested. So they are upset everyone. So in the last video you teased the PyStorm EMU ITX board. Anything to share? No, nothing to share. It's just I've look, I when I saw the there's nothing being developed, right? Not at the moment. I mean, it might be in the future. But one of the reasons for doing that video, hopefully you've seen the FPGA one, which I meant to ruffle feathers, but only in a fun way. But it was to say Edu's work was awesome and doesn't get the respect. Oh no, it might be unfair, but it doesn't get the positivity that it deserves. For some reason, it's the Mini Amiga everyone gets excited about, and everyone gets excited about the Vampire, but the Amiga kind of sits in the middle, and it is wonderful. It's such a lovely little system. So I wanted to big it up, but also talk about. I know people want Vampires. I mean, if you're willing to pay that huge price, you can get the super fast machine. But if you want super fast, Pi, the Pi walks all over it all day long. And but the Amiga's, one of my patrons and Facebook followers, he said he railed on it because the lack of internet, the Ethernet. Well, look, we never had that back in the day, and the whole point with the Amiga is it's meant for a specific kind of audience, ones that like playing games, doing demos, simple things. Yeah, nothing. You're not going to run a web browser on it. I mean, it's nice having the internet. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be doing a video on my 1000, right, with a browser, running my web software, showing really good websites. Okay, so yes, I get it. Oh, I like it, but you're never going to get a decent browser on it. That's the problem on the 68K, unless we can get OWB ported. It's not happening. So, but there's also things like communication. I get the networking thing, but it's meant to be a small standalone thing for playing games, demonstration or demos, bit of paint, animation, play with Scala, just generally play and have fun, building like in your main PC with your WinUAE, building your ultimate machine and then dropping it into the Amiga and using it. I mean, that's really what it's all about. And for €200, I mean, yes, it's a lot more expensive if you put it in my case. Well, that's not my case. A lot more expensive, but it's fantastic. Now, is there likely to be an Amiga for my monitor? I really think so, because right now as it stands, I could almost just literally drop the Amiga Reloaded into it. It's the right size, a few cables, but knowing what Edu's like, he was very flattered by the video, which was the plan. It was to tell other people how good it was, and then also to tell him. Then I'm hoping he'll be inspired to do a version for my monitor, because I think that would be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, will the black monitor color match the case I ordered? Yes, absolutely. Well, yes, yeah, because that's a really good point. It'll be yes, it's black, right? Yes, but with the plus cases, if you bought a plus case, unless you know the history of the project, I buggered up the front plastic panels because this is the first time I'd ever done plastics, right? And whilst the white ones look beautiful, but their texture, they have it was really expensive to do any kind of sandblasting texture. So I went for a standard texture, which looked fantastic. But when you did it in black, it looked terrible. It looked like someone had rubbed sandpaper all over it. It just looked terrible. So we had to have them all sprayed matte black, and they were double coated. There was a proper paint coating, but they were printed, they were molded in black, and then they were spray black. So I'm not doing that with the monitors. I'm not doing that. We're going to this time do the proper texture, so you're going to get a very fine texture on it, proper like a sandblast, mild sandblast texture. And so we're going to do it properly, and it will still be black and it will still look good on it, but there'll be a subtle difference between it. That's just the way it is. But you look, to be honest, you're going to put it on now. I think you're going to love it. So I don't see that's Edu for president. Yeah, you know, some certain groups. No, look, let's be truthful. He was upset about something. He probably tell no one, right? The Vampire team, they did a performance chart, right? And they put the vampire at the top. They didn't think about putting the pie at the top, but they just put. And what they did was they made the base level an Amiga, right? And they used the original Amiga. And you know, that's like, if you want the real bottom end performance, you can have that. But the bottom end performance is an Amiga 500 kind of thing, you know what I mean? And his isn't. He's like an Amiga 3000. They should have done a chart with like the proper Amiga up 3000, and then slightly above that was the original one, and then 2.5 times that is the new one. But they didn't do that, and I'm not very happy about it either. And so I put performance charts, and I just list it all. Yeah, the Vampires a fantastic product. I still say I think it should be 399. 399 killer all day long. But it's a bit expensive. But do I love Vampire? Yes, I've got 2 of them. I've got a V2 Vampire in my 1000, which is going to get a video, and I'm really going to be praising the hell out of that, because that is what Vampire should be. And I've got a Vampire in my 2000 over here, so I love the Vampire. Would I buy a standalone? No. Edu for president? Absolutely, yeah. Steve Prime Minister? Yeah, no, not really. Now, let's defumigate the office first. I don't think I'd be any good at politics because I'd tell everyone what I think of them, so that'd be not much good, is it? I'd probably get on better with the Russians. Although I think they're probably a bit too bright for me. I'm probably a little bit too naive for that, as I proved in the past. Not so much now. Say hello, Leela. Who's Leela? I get some really weird. I get some really weird messages. Are you over 18? Delete. Delete. Any insight on when the Raspberry Pi shortage will end? Really? Just because I've met Eben doesn't mean I know. Yeah, no. I don't know. Although to be fair, do you want one? Let me show you something. They'll probably all disappear now. Pi Maroni. Is that it? Shop. Essentials. Here you go. Raspberry Pi Essential Kit. In stock. Do you want a Pi? Pi 4. And this is, yeah, it's not a scam or anything like that. Okay, if you want a Pi 4, buy that. Yes, you've got to buy the other bits. Great, and that'll make it work. If you're going to put it in my case, you don't need them. But you get the CD, the SD card would be good. £67 with 2 gig. You know, so that's you can get them. So there's no real argument here. You just have to buy them as a kit. Now, if you buy them off the scalpers, it's the same price. So you might as well buy that, get all the extras. Yeah. I mean, look, they're there. You can get them. They're you know, which is great that they're starting to bring them in, because there's obviously a bit more money in the Pi Essential kits. The Pi Foundation, obviously, I can't. It's just they're so tight on cash. They have to be so damn careful that it's going to be very hard to do it. Now here, I'm guessing there's more margin here, and so it means they could pay a little bit more money to supply them as a complete kit, and there's a bit more margin in it for them, and that's what I'm guessing is going on here, and I'm completely with that, right? Because it's still a great little system. I bailed on the Vamp forms due to toxicity. Vampire's a great product, but a bit on the steep side. The drama that. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, the Vampire is outstanding. seriously. But they got carried away with the price. Now, you know, there is a... Now, I know with small projects, now people go, oh, well, your cases are expensive. Yeah, absolutely. They're like, oh, I get it, right? But my profit ain't nowhere near what they're making. I know, I've costed it. so, yeah. But you know what? People are buying them. They're buying them, aren't they? And but again, I think the thing about the Amiga. Now, for me, the true sweet spot for me is 6840 performance with FPU, and a kick-ass RTG system. Because anything more than that, you know, yes, it's nice, but if you're doing applications, it's fine. So that and there is talk. There is people work. I've tried to encourage them, but there is people who are looking into redoing the CPU part of the core and making it kind of 40 megahertz, so 40 performance kind of thing. Now, if we can get that to me is enough. Yes, the Vampire's fantastic. I know it's fantastic. But if you could get 40 megahertz 040 performance with an FPU and sweet RTG, fast RTG, and network, right, for 250 pounds, who's going to want to buy anything else? You know, it's just would be awesome. Keep it open source. Everything open source. Everyone can play with it, right? That's kind of what I'm trying to encourage, because I think that is because if you go, oh, I need the Vampire performance, well, buy a bloody Raspberry Pi. It's 5 times quicker, or 8 times quicker. Oh, but it's not FPGA. Who cares? It's still 8 times quicker. And if you get the AMI kit with my Amiga hybrid concept, right? You've got the ultimate kind of Amiga with Linux in the background, so you can run Chrome. So you can. One of the things my patrons have asked is, let me get rid of that page. One of the things my patrons have asked is for me to do a video a week without my normal computers, just Amiga. Now, if I was allowed to use a Raspberry Pi with my Amiga hybrid stuff, right, AmiKit, yeah, with all the bits of, because people don't understand the stuff I did in the background with Dimitri. We spent a lot of time working on it, fine-tuning it, because to make it work like Siamese system, had to do a lot of stuff in the background. I didn't do the work. I just went, I plied him with beer kind of thing, and he worked on the core of Amiberry, and then Yan came along and did this beautiful version of AmiKit, the whole installation, whole wonderful, really beautiful system. So between the three of us, I think we built that. Now I could use that a week using Amiga software. Now, okay, as long as I'm allowed to use my Chrome on it, so I might do a video like that, because I could technically do that. Be interesting, because I'm used to having this Mac Pro here, and I got like 12 cores and 96 gig of RAM, and I got videos, software, and a streaming. I doubt I could do a stream. It'd be very tricky to do a stream. But yeah, I'd potentially do it if I was allowed to do that. Yeah, look, if all right, let's be realistic about this, right? I don't care if you know this because I haven't got them anymore, but the Amiga's about 200 quid. So the boards I pay probably 170, right, retail kind of price. The only difference, well, no, it might be we changed the. I can't say too much because I've got ideas in my head, right? But if we have one, instead of having a little board, developer board, and an actual FPGA in it, They're only 50 quid each for a decent one, right? They're expensive. You get the really ones, the good ones, they go up in price. But you can get one like the Vampire ones. The Vampire V4 is about £75, right? That's all that chip is. The rest of it's 50 quid. So you know, it's no big deal. But we could build one and sell it for 200 quid, £200 for the board. I'd probably want to make it so it can monitor and my ITX cases. But you could probably do it for about 200-ish. So 399 with the case, keyboard, mouse, the whole thing. 399 is a potential. And you can find a license. I've got an agreement with Mike, and people need to fucking leave Mike alone, right? He's great. He's you know, he still won't give me the rights to use the Amiga name yet. Well, you know, I'm still working. But he's been great. So I basically have got a load of I've given CDs, the Amiga for 8 for a much cheaper price. Okay, it's just that, so I can reduce my costs. So we're going to be coming out with something, well, same packs, but kind of maybe a slightly reduced cost pack. Probably going to be more in line with the Amy hybrid stuff, and you know, and the others. But that's just helped bring it down a bit, because most people have got Amiga Forever. Why do you want to buy? You know, I've been doing it with Amiga Forever 9 and then 3.1.4. I'm dropping 3.1.4. I'm going purely, and this is purely for cost reasons. I have to supply all the others, so I'm just Amiga Forever 8. You probably see it on the website. Amiga, I've got the CDs. I got a good price. I paid for user because I got a load of the CDs, DVDs. Sorry. There might be CDs actually. Anyway, because they've got all the licenses on. It means I can reduce the cost. I'm going to do an Amiga for a 3X distro, which I'm going to work on soon. And then, you know, we can do, so it's just to try and reduce the cost, because I know my cases ain't cheap. But if I can get a supply of pies, which would be quite handy. But on the FPGA, if I can then get if we can do an FPGA board, only if we get this 040 core. I mean, even now, I think it's good enough. But we can do something faster, right? Because if you run on the D10 Nano, the performance of the on the D10 Nano is probably absolute optimum, because the RTG is wonderful on that. It's really good. It's faster, and it can do 24, 32-bit. It is actually better. That's why I say when I did in the video about putting it in 8 color on Amiga, whereas on the D10 you can do better. And of course with D10 you've got the whole spread of cores you can run, which is good. But I'd like to do a 399 plus VAT. Everything's plus VAT. I'd like to do a 399 Amiga, but I don't know the right. That's not giving any clues. I ain't got rights to the name. I got nothing like that. But everyone wants to do an Amiga, and I'd like to do one because 399 is the old, well, 399 plus VAT is about this price when it came out. It's, you know, so yeah, we'll see. 50 megahertz 040 with RTG and enough RAM, serial Wi-Fi. No, forget serial Wi-Fi. Proper Wi-Fi. None of that serial Wi-Fi. Not on. If I'm gonna do a new board, it's gonna have proper Ethernet. None of that, because it's fast enough. A proper buffered IDE. No, you won't get. It'll just be done. Probably this exactly the same way you're doing it with HDFs. Because that's more flexible. You can drop them in there, but just like with the, I want Ethernet. That for that I would want. You know, this will please that. I don't know. But that would please him, because I do get it about the network. Trust me, you'll see it when I do the video on this. And I want something that is, I think 50 minutes. I don't think the core can do that. From what I've been told, I've talked to the people, and they've been theoretically. I know that Gunnar has done wonders with his core. I don't think unless he licenses it out, you know, I'm not averse to paying to license it. But I can't. I don't think he would, because if he did, I would drop. I would sell him a lot cheaper, and he would just wouldn't be interested. So it has to be something else. But you know, I do think 25, 50 megahertz, somewhere in the middle is what I've been told. Around 33 to 40, not 50, is pushing it a bit. Around 33 to 40. That's bloody fast for an Amiga software. That's just brilliant. I think that'd be good, especially if you know you've got network in it. I just think it'd be really nice. And people say, "Oh, I can't play video." Well, you've got flipping DVD players somewhere over there. Can you use that? Appy, sod off. Stop asking stupid questions. Stop. Quit. He's gone. Yeah, as a job, I have this message when it pops up. Bing. Yeah, Appy's missed it. I think when he logs in, he'll we'll all be gone home. Right. Phenomenal for Taj. Have you heard anything from Trevor lately? The blog seems to he had a big accident on a push bike, and so he's been out of action. I did speak to him. He's going to be at Amiga 37, so I'll have a chat with him then. I don't know. I mean, I think Matthew. I'm going to try and talk to Matthew as well on there, because I've got these bloody cases. It's got Aeon A1222 written down the side of the bloody box on 2 flipping boxes now. But we'll have to see. But the Raspberry Pi, I think, would eat that alive anyway with the 68K. Most people want 68K. I'm going to do more work on the 68K on the Pi, because the Pi is going to be. I don't think you can't buy anything at the moment, but if any of you are thinking of getting a D10 Nano, I got 3. Oh, I need 3 on back order. I thought it was a test with DigiKey, so I back ordered 3. I didn't do 5 because I wasn't sure if they're going to bill me instantly, but they don't. So I'll have 3 coming in now. It means I will put a markup on them. I'm paying just under 200 quid. So I'm going to put like a 25% markup on that, right? And then you can buy the case and all the bits. So you build a complete system if you want to. Because a lot of people, I sold loads. I sold nearly 100 of them. So there is demand for that, because with the Mini and the D10, really is a retro monster. And it also makes a great bloody email. It makes a great personal computer, not personal computer. Just a great retro machine. But you can, make great Amiga. Really, really good Amiga. I don't speak to him very often. I did email him, and he came back and he was okay. So I'm going to see him in October and see how he's doing. But I think he's kind of, he's done all this for the Amiga. He got nothing but grief at the end because of the delays of the table, whatever you're going to call it. I think I don't want to say it's broken him, but I think it's I think he's gone over the hump now. I went over the hump 25 years ago, so I done that. Yeah, see, well, I would normally, I'd say stick a vampire in the 1200, but 500 quid? No, well, 600 quid actually. God knows what it'd be in Norway. Right, come on, questions, because I want to go. I want to go sit with my wife. I'm going to go sit downstairs, and I'm going to have a night, finish my beer, and watch some TV. So I'm going to give you a few seconds, because I think I spouted enough and bored you enough. Oh yeah, I've done that one. Pi has start kit. Yeah. So anyway, if you're thinking of buying one of these garages, they'll be in Thursday. So if you want one, buy one. Check the shipping cost because to be fair, there's a minimum charge to like Europe. So don't buy one. If you're in the UK, well, it's tenner for shipping. So, but if in Europe, buy at least 2. If you're in the States, buy 4. Because it's done again the volumetric size. It's all about volumetric size. Check the shipping cost on my site. But yeah, it's. What do you think about the new Pi Mega 2? Do you know? I haven't. Oh God, is Chris here? I've not tried it because, as you can probably imagine, I've been really bloody busy. But it's part of my forward planning because the Pi system is kind of a big deal for me because and I don't want it just to be about AmiKit, right? So I intend. And I've said to him, he doesn't want. I said about licensing the software, and it's a tricky one because he kind of puts a load of extras. I was like, I can't have them. You can't have them. But to do a version, and then so he gets some money for it. And I'm not like one of these, just grab it and sell it on a bloody card for 30 quid. I'm not like that and play all them games. So I kind of considering giving options, 2 options, but the the short answer, I haven't played with it. I played with the last version, which was really cool. But I do like AmiKit. But the Pi Mega is really good because it's kind of wool. It's like it's fake wool. Look at that lot. Right. Okay. So it's like a small oven in here. Let me switch back to it so you can see everything. I got that one over there working. See, there's my vampire. You see, that's my that 2000. I've got to do a video on my 2000 as well, because that's quite a special 2000. In fact, see that? I've got a single board computer in there with Linux running on it. Built in there, so it's got a Pentium machine with like 2 gig of RAM or something like 2 gig of RAM, running I can't remember which version it is. It's very lightweight Linux, but it's networked. I've got to network to put them on a switch together so they can connect to them and share files. The idea is that I can, with that one, it's just for fun, but I've got a vampire in there. I've got a video recording system. I've got a Takata in there, but I haven't been able to get the 2 of them working together yet. Macro system one. What was it called? I forget now. But anyway, I've got the video recording board in there, which works great, but the Takata doesn't seem to work with it. I've got a feeling Takata's broke. Hello, Happy. You are a bit late. I did send you a message 5 minutes before. But yeah, so I'm going to do a video on that, explain how that works, and just really go to town, just because that's such a really good machine. And the irony here, for anyone who knows, is it is a 2000, but it has the motherboard from a Commodore 1500. A B2000 motherboard. So I actually got the motherboard. The guy wanted to keep the 1500 case, but he didn't care about the motherboard. So he put the motherboard in an old 2000 case. I don't know, it doesn't make sense, but yeah. So that's actually a really nice little machine. I really like that one. And it's really reliable. I mean, it's 30 years old, 30 odd years old. But yeah, so I'm going to do a video on that. Oh, yes. Any thoughts on making a replica A3000 case for all those homeless? Yes, it's called Order One. Right, so I see what you mean. Yeah, fitting kit pushes the price up. I'm sorry, that's life. See, I'm not doing that. I can't do a custom version. Do you know how much this stuff costs? The thing what I might do is, because you don't the rear panel's not needed, so I might be able to reduce the cost because there's no rear panel. But it's still low volume stuff. You know, there's not enough market. Give me 250 customers, and then we'll do a custom package. We'll do a custom everything. We'll make it. You know, but you know, it's just an expensive thing to do. At the moment, you buy a case. The case costs $179. You a couple of £100 for the fitting kit. I think it's $250 for the fitting kit. But there's one of them boards in there. Oh, you can't see it, can you? Let's see if I can get it down. No, it's not coming off. But there's a smaller daughter board, which was custom made. So there's that in there. That's why it's quite expensive. You're getting a complete new daughter board, and it's a really complex fitting kit. But if there was demand, but not for 6 people, he sold 6 in his recent batch. I can't do a custom run of cases for 6. So sorry about that. I do understand, but this is small scale production. Look, it shouldn't be like it should be either you want it or you don't. And £400 to rehome it and make it look great. It's peanuts. I'm sorry, but it's really cheap. You know, in the real world. So it's just not possible. So that's why I've not done it. Question. Look, I put it out there specially for you, Happy. Look, old Crafty N. He finished it in my Belgium. I sold one of my cases to a Belgium guy, and he was explaining everyone it's really simple because it's all that happens. I ship it excluding VAT. He got a request before it landed. He got an email. He clicked on the link. He said you need to pay it. It turned out just over 24%, including everything, and paid it. Job was done. You know, so whereas you'd have paid 20% with my VAT, he paid 24%, including all the charges. So you know, that was in Belgium. So really easy. But yes, as far as a 3000 fitting, a custom version for 3000 is no. But we are, as I said, I might do if there was demand. If I could sell, even if I sold 50 to 100 cases, I'd do a pack. I'd work with Simon. We'd get the boards manufactured because it's quite expensive doing this stuff. All the extra metal work, get it all done, put it all together, ship it out the door. It wouldn't be much cheaper. You might say 50 quid. That'd be it. It's just not possible for the amount of kit that's going in there. It's just not possible. I appreciate we ain't all got that money. I'd probably I'm lucky I've got one in the loft. I've got one. I've got 3000. Don't need it, but in case I ever get one of those Re Amigas, because I've actually got the board up there. You might be able to see it up here. I've actually got a board. Okay, so I got to go. Right, so the next video is probably I'm messing around my AROS machine at the moment, so it's a toss up between doing the 1000 and the AROS video first. But one of them coming, but the 1000s are going to be absolute. You know, that's kind of a roll on from the last big one I did. But she's vampired up, so I'm going to be literally singing the praises of the vampire. Because it deserves it. It absolutely deserves it. I'm probably going to shy away from saying don't buy standalone. If you want to buy one. Yeah, okay, so thanks for streaming, Coach. Shall we work? Yeah, absolutely. Right, so thanks so much, guys. I do appreciate you coming along. And I'll be here next week. I'm pretty confident I'll be here next week. So hopefully, you know, if everything arrives, no, it won't be for Monday. But I'm going to see Happy probably the week after, and then we'll build. I'm not sure one of these two. Don't know which yet. Build probably the 19-inch on the top there. Probably the 19-inch for lots of reasons. I'll probably build it on there, and then I'll use that for the demo because but that one there at the moment has become my Amiga 1000 monitor. But I want one that I can use with my 128D. There you go, Happy Seats. Pride place. There it is. It's just the 1000's got me video. See, it's there, right there. Rita's birthday, son. Oh, okay. Well, does that mean I've got to send her a card? Look, thanks so much, guys. And I will speak to you next week. See if I can do it right for a change. And toodaloo. And as always, 3, 2, 1.